Good morning. Sometimes believing in something is not and being passionate about it is outstanding, but what's more important is who, what, when, and where are you in this vision and in this reality that you want to create. This mind hears things like that, and I'm reminded about what General George Patton, the American general of World War II, said that America loves a winner and will not tolerate a loser, because to an American, the mere thought of losing is hateful. And I wouldn't give a hoot and a hell for a man who lost and laughed. And when your sons and daughters asked you what you did during the Great War, WW2, you won't have to say that you shoveled shit in Louisiana. Now you SOBs, you know how I feel. I also thought about a young man named Ed, who was a IT person in my profession in probation, and he had been so helpful in terms of helping clean up hard drives and help me understand the ProbeNet system that was being introduced to people who barely knew what a computer was, and he was extremely helpful. And I once asked him, which I always sort of do, ask him, well, where are you from? And he says, well, I'm from Afghanistan. And so in May, I reached out to Ed and just, saw all of the things that were happening, and fearful of the Taliban coming to power and placing another 7th century hold on a country that has had so many times of other countries invading and trying to control their destiny. And then he emailed me back and he said, once again, we, meaning America, because he is an American citizen, an Afghan American, have made a moral mistake. Pray for all of the Afghan girls who will be forced out of school by these men who have a false interpretation of Islam. Americans are more reactive than proactive, and real Americans will support a people quest for democracy. He also went on to say, too, that he sort of thought that the real cause of this debacle, nightmare, whatever you want to call it, under the iceberg is the Afghan government, which was rife with corruption and unscrupulous politicians who sold Americans a bag of goods about what their intentions were. I think now we all know, and if we don't, as Americans, we should know about our own country as well, but about any country. You can't buy democracy or courage. Even a coward knows this. And in the end, a coward dies 1,000 deaths. Ed blamed the Afghan government for corruption, but the Afghan people, they bear responsibility for not having courage to fight for democracy. Joe, a man who fails to plan, plans to fail. And so on that end, I look at Mr. Blinken and the general and the CIA, who gave very poor intel. Even Stevie Wonder, Helen Keller, Jose Feliciano can see that the intel was absolutely wrong.